In English, the major skills in learning a language. Introductions on definitions of language is a system of symbols that presents people to communicate their interact language in terms of the four basic language skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. In our teaching, we will need to address each of these skills and whenever possible use to utilize activities that integrate all four languages in each the others language skills are communication skills that help you know convey your ideas with clarity and friction. Not only do you learn to speak, we will but also listen attentively, written, writing clearly with brevity, and it is another skill that's considered in professional settings. First, we see about the listening. The very first thing you did when you were a kid to learn your native language was just listening to what everybody is saying. Although you have to practice, and practice to develop your listening skills, it is not enough to have the class with your teacher. You will must try to watch movies or listen to music in your free time. Always be in aware that material you choose to appropriate to your level. You could also use subtitles to learn new words. Nowadays, the technical offers various kinds of applications or web pages you can use try to episode as for a good source like recommended materials for your teachers. The second step you did next we talk about is speaking. The second step of doing is get limited the sounds you heard before. Just try to speak the words. The key make progress for speaking is the talk to others, tolerance, and to native speakers to understand the cadence and the rhythm of the language. You have to concord it in yourself. Try to talk as much as who can. Doesn't matter if you made mistake. Actually, you can learn from them. The idea is to push yourself to do it even if you practice in the front of the mirror. At first, you recording yourself with the cell phone. Another effective strategy is to read out loud to practice pronunciations. Besides, it is very helpful to step up small goals every day, such as learning a new expressions, idiom and words. Next is about reading. That third thing you did is school. You repeat the vowels and letters. Just follow the letters to make sense. They are the some steps you may follow to read more efficiency. First of all, you have to start reading from the title to know what is the reading about. Then scan the text reading strategy, which means to do fast reading to have the general idea about that content. A silent reading, it is also recommended in internalize the pronunciations of every word, following the pauses according to functions. However, at the point you should take notes about the words you don't understand to find them in the dictionary. Sometimes students don't like to use the dictionaries, but it is beneficial in it. You can check not just the meaning of the words but their sound roads, their phonetic symbols, as well as knowing if the word is a adjectives or a noun among the others. Right, next last one is about the writing. The fourth step we did to learn at the school. Finally, we wrote the words. Just combine everything you have to learn and the right. However, before write, you have to think about the possible topics to organize your ideas. This skill is the last part, not because it is the less critical. Indeed, it is the challenge to learn how to write correctly. The first accept you should consider to is to remember three main parts of the text: introducing body and conclusion, introduction, body and conclusion, as well as reviewing functions, which is going to help you with coherence. How to use punctuations in your text. On the other hand, at the moment you want to write it better, they start this Standards, then small paragraphs and full text always are supporting you grammar and vocabulary with their dictionary. A text where passive skills of listening and reading does not give employers what they need. If employers content only involves listening and reading, then the text focusing solely on listening and reading may be enough. How most work context involves speaking and writing skills only, and the use of English in both formal and informal situations, such as giving presentation, practicing in a meeting, or discussing, writing reports, email ratings, etc. For some employees and other organizations which wish to focus on particular skills to meet the requirements of specific roles for these situations. Cambridge English provides a number of modular texts such as BULATS and linguistic which can be used to focus on individual skills. Texting all for skills has positive impact on learning, but the texting for skills Cambridge English exam encourage teachers to learn to talk a balanced approaches to language learning, ensuring that the learners develop the ability to use the language effectively in the real world. Cambridge English researchers suggested that one of the main research minister and school groups introduced the Cambridge English exams in is because they text all four skills, and as a result increase the focus on speaking and listening things. Listening this helps learns the develop confidence to communicate in English. Learners development in the four skills is often unbalanced in testing only. Some language skills may give inaccurate pictures. It is common for language abilities across the four skills to be interrelate. However, such relationships are not storing enough to allow measures of one skill to something from others. For example, the data blow based on over 4,000 for like 65,000 text takers who took Cambridge English qualification in 2015. So only a moderate relationship among the different skills. If we take speaking for example, the relationship between the speaking and the reading is 0.60, which means that the candidates who score high in the speaking text only tends to score high reading text or vice versa. Next characteristic of languages. This is a simple. If we want to use abilities on English variety of context, if you want to access some faking abilities, readings, applications, or many like that. Characteristic of language. Language is a variable vocal. Language is a sound. Language is a organized of sounds, vocal symbols, their some message speech is primary to write, but there are several languages in the world which have no writing system, but it enjoys the status of language because they are spoken music and signs or vocal sounds, but they are not languages. Language is a meaning of a communication. Language is a meaning of a communicate with many peoples and easy to talk, easy to communicate any problems like that. That is the meaning of the language is meaning of communication. Language is a social phenomenon. Human beings express their thoughts, feelings, any other things by using languages. By using languages, first source of communication. For better communication system is necessary that language should be used in good manner. Language has to play a good role in a mass communications. With the help of the language, human beings interact with each other. Language is non-instinct conveyment. In every language is a gift of evolution and a convection. Each and every generation transits this communication on to next generation. Language can change and die, grow and expand just like that. Other human institutions, nobody gets a language is a heritage. and occurs it, and he has been approved with the initial ability to occur language. Language is arbitrary by the arbitrariness of language. We mean that there is no inherent or local relations or similarity between any given features of language and its meanings. That is entry that there is no direct necessary connections between the nature of the things or ideas. Language there are variants in different language of the world, and they have no uniformly. Language is a symbolic. A symbolic language is necessarily a symbolic stands for something else. It is something that is says a substitute. We have sound also words as a symbols. Conclusion. The learning process is different of all students. You should also receive what you learn. Styles such as a visual learns art, dictionary learners, systematic learners, and tactical learner is you can find plenty of different learning styles testing online. You once you know you learn style, it would be easier for you find materials that match taking into account all these strategies. You should could have a more meaningful lifelong language learning. Remembering you will never stop learning another and essential thinking to consider is how interesting you are in the language you want to learn. This may be a reason why you haven't learned as much as you need. Motivation is the key for having successful learning process. Analyze delve deeply. You have to improve the language, how to important it is for you, and what you can accomplish once you master communication in their language.